How much bank balance I need for my Schengen visa? People ask me this question, hey, I have this much money, will my Schengen visa get approved? This depends on lot of factors and there is no one answer. So how much money you need for your Schengen visa depends actually on how good your profile is. In this video, I will give you different situations. I will talk about different profile and you can calculate how much money you should be having in your bank account. So these are the Schengen area. You could be going to France, Italy or any country from this list, and what I am going to tell you will be valid for all these countries. So the first factor that I'm going to talk about is good travel history. Remember, when you are applying for visa, the immigration team looks at whether you have the intention for tourism or not. So if you have good travel history, this suggests that you are a frequent traveler and your intention to visiting Schengen area is also tourism. Therefore, you should be able to get the visa. However, if you have no travel history and the first country that you want to travel is in Schengen area, and let us say you live in India, the question arises, why don't you want to travel the neighboring countries like Thailand, Malaysia? So your travel history is not that good, and in this situation you may need to show more bank balance. Yes, you can still get visa with no travel history. People do get visa with no travel history. But in this situation, since your profile is not that strong compared to somebody who is a frequent traveler, you should be having a good bank balance. Second factor that I'm going to talk about is good salary. So good salary is important from two perspectives. First perspective why good salary is important is that it suggests that you have a job. And if you have a job in your home country, this suggests that you have a strong ties to your home country and you have a reason to go back to your home country after your vacation. Secondly, good salary also suggests that you have the capacity to finance your visit to Schengen area. Also remember that you do not need to be a salaried person only. If you have got good business and if you have got good income generating from your business, this is valid too. If you are unemployed, if you are jobless, if you are not doing business, then this means that you do not have sufficient source of income, and this also means that employment, which is an important home ties factor, is weak for you. Third factor that I'm going to talk about is length of stay. This also determines how much money you may need to show. Don't worry, I will tell you exactly how much money you will need to show in each of these situations. I will give you a breakdown of how much money you need to show, and you can calculate based on your profile how much money you may need. This is going to be a very detailed video. Stay with me. So for length of a stay, logic says that if you are going to stay at some place for a long duration, you will need to have more money to sustain yourself in that location. However, if you are going to some place for a short duration of time, for let us say 1 week visit or 2 week visit, you will need to show less bank balance. So if in your cover letter you are writing that you are going to stay for 2 months, in that situation you will need to have more bank balance logically. However, if you are going to visit just for 1 week, even if you have low bank balance, that should be fine because you are not going to stay for a long period of time. Next that I'm going to talk about is a stable bank account. This is very important and this is one reason why many visa gets rejected. So the problem that I feel with a lot of people is that they do not have a stable bank account. They have, like, let us say, no money in their bank account, and then one day, just a day before applying for this visa, they deposit huge sum of money so that they can show high bank balance. But when the immigration team see this, that for the 4 month period there was no activity in bank account, and just a day before applying for visa they have deposited huge sum of money, let us say 10 lakhs or 10,000 US dollar. So the immigration team will think that this guy actually does not have money, he does not have any source of income. So one big deposit before visa application is a big no-no. You can obviously deposit some money, but it should not be a huge chunk of money. And obviously if you have a salaried bank account, your salary will reflect every month in your bank account, which gives legitimacy to your bank account. This again shows that you have source of income, and this also suggests that you will be having income in future and you should be having the capacity to finance your stay in Schengen area. Next thing that I want to discuss is inviter versus tourist. So what is the difference between an inviter or a tourist? So if you have got an inviter in Schengen area, let us say if you're going to France and if you have got a friend there, or if you are going on a business trip to France, this means that you have got an inviter in France, and if you have accommodation in France, this will save you a lot of money. Whereas if you are a tourist, you will not have any accommodation, you will stay in a hotel, and this will cost you a lot of money. So if you are going on some conference, if you are going to meet some friends, if you are going on a business trip, you will not need accommodation generally. So in that case, even if you show less bank balance, you should be fine. And also if you have an inviter, a lot of your other expenses will also not be there. So therefore you can mention all these details in your cover letter that you are going for this reason. So first thing will obviously be your hotel stay. So in general, you can get hotel for $50, you can get even for $40, even for $30, but the standard rate is $50 to $100 per day. If you want to convert it in Indian currency, it will be 4,000 rupees per night. And if you are staying for a week, you will be spending 28,000 for your hotel stay. You can get it for less obviously, but I am just saying the standard price. So hotel is a big chunk of cost. If you are staying for 7 days and if you are spending on a decent hotel, you will be spending 28,000 rupees. Next thing that you will need to spend on is food. So if you are spending $40 to $60 per day, you can be spending less, you can be spending more. But in Indian terms, again, I am assuming that you are spending 4,000 per day on food. So for 7 days, you will be spending 28,000. So your hotel and accommodation for a week will cost you 56,000 rupees. Next big form of cost for you will be your flying cost, the round trip. So the round trip in general can cost you $500 to $1,500 depending on which flight you are taking, what time you are visiting. So this is a round trip. You can get for even less if you plan well ahead. So in Indian terms, let us assume that we are spending 80,000 rupees on this. Obviously, you can get for less, you can get for even 40,000 rupees actually. But let us assume that we are spending 80,000 rupees. You will also be spending money on transportation there, on different other form of transportation. So in Indian currency, this sums up to 1,36,000. The standard practice is to double this amount. So this will be 2,72,000. So this is the minimum that you need to show, in my opinion, 2,72,000. If you want to get your Schengen visa approved, you can get it approved in less money as well. But to be on the safe side, anything above 2,70,000 should be decent enough for a 1 week visit. And I'm telling you, if you plan your stay well, you will not spend this much money. But if you want to show in your bank account how much money you have, you need to have at least 2,50,000 money. If it is 5 lakh, that is well and good. But if it is below 2,50,000, then you are in some form of problem. Also remember that one more factor, that whether you are going to Schengen area alone or if you're going with family. If you are going with family, you will need to show more money. I hope this video was useful to you. If you like my form of explanation, please comment. Thank you so much.